My name is Hannah, and I have a problem. I suffer from sleep insomnia, so I'm always up late. Some may even call me a creature of the night. I'm used to being bored and just trying to occupy myself with just about anything: drawing, knitting, even listening to music. But the thing I do the most is I listen to creepypastas. Now, I've never been one to get scared easily, so these creepypastas are like bedtime stories to me. But something lately has got me scared. You hear all these stories about ghosts and madmen and how to summon things, and you never believe them. If that's the case, then you're like me. You're one of those people that do not believe in seeing things like that, or even being able to bring one to your own home. Well, I am like you. No, I was like you. I always thought these were just stories to creep you out, but it's not until you see something like this that you start believing. Now, as you're listening to this, you will probably think that this is the rambling of a madman, but I assure you, it's far from it. Anyway, back to the story. I suffer from sleep insomnia, so I'm always up late. I've never really had any problems with it, until the other night, that is. The first time this happened, it was so clear. I remember it like it just happened. I was laying in my bed listening to music when I heard a noise from across my room. Not only did I hear it, I felt it through the floor onto my bed. I live alone, so that automatically ruled out the possibility of it being a friend or family member. It sounded like someone had thrown a very heavy object onto the floor in my room. I sat up and looked around my room. Sure enough, it was empty. I sighed a sigh of relief. I soon brushed off the sound and went back to my music. That was until I heard it again. The loud boom had come back, but this time even louder. Immediately I sprang up and had another look around, only to find what looked like child's footprints. Small, red, bloody footprints starting from my bed. The footprints were leading from my bed and continued to go under the closed door of my bedroom. My mind grew curious, so I got out of my bed, opened my door, and there, leading down my small hall, the trail of small red bloody footprints continued. I followed them down the hall and down the stairs, past my kitchen and into my living room. As I approached the living room, I caught a glimpse of what looked like a man. My heart sank into my chest as I reached for my light switch. I promptly flicked the switch, but it wouldn't turn on. Slowly walking into my living room, where I saw a small child curled up in the centre of my living room, crying. Thinking maybe the child was lost and had found shelter in my home, I slowly approached him. As I did, I was calling out to him, "Excuse me, young man, are you okay? Can I help you?" As I said this, the boy's cries seemed to turn into a scream. As he turned to me, I could see he had no face. Panic, I went to flee, but as I turned around, I saw a man standing in front of me, a masked man. I could hear the screams of the boy getting louder and louder, and as it did, the screams changed from just a child screaming to a child screaming words at the top of his lungs. Not just words, it seemed to be of a foreign language before it turned back to screams in English. Now, you may not have guessed why I'm telling you this story, so here it is. These will be my last words before I commit suicide. Turns out the little boy and the masked man were demons of some sort. They chose their victims, and the boy screams at the victim in Latin before screaming, "Sacrifice, soon we shall feed." The masked man has been sitting in my room for the past few days now, and since that night I haven't slept a wink. I'm slowly drifting into sleep. I fear if I do, he will get me. So I am about to do the unthinkable. I'm going to pull the bullet through my brains. Don't let the little boy fool you. Tonight we shall feed.